So the Center for Women is a program. It's sort of like a work release program for the Department of Public Safety, the state, for women who are currently incarcerated. We function sort of like a halfway house transition home. The women that get to come here um, have to be infraction free, be at the minimum 3 level. And that just means that they're able to be out in the community unsupervised, like on a work release site. Um, there's an application process, there's a waiting list. It's not very long, surprisingly. But we have close to 3,000 women in prison and only 30 beds. So the demand to get here is high. There's a lot of talk in the prisons about the women wanting to get into this program. We have a success rate of 100% within the last 6 to 7 years. With some of them are mothers, aunts, grandmothers, all ages here, all crimes. We don't discriminate, I guess, except for sex crimes. And we have a variety of sentences here. We've had women here that were in prison for 32 years to as little as 3 years. There are certain things that they get to do here that they haven't done in years. For instance, just switching on a light switch. Those small little things that we take for granted is what we give them back here. And once that shell shock is over in the first kind of couple of weeks that they're here, then we give them back their lives with working and routine and those things. So it's sort of like a progress from the time they're here until their release. And they are here for about 2 to 3 years from their release date. So we give them some time to get back to themselves, right? I'm just happy to know that we can change lives in the way that we do, just by like simple words sometimes. You know, I also had, I like to tell stories, but I had a woman that for the first time, she said in her life, and I think she was in her late 30s, maybe early 40s, that someone had told her they were proud of her. Those are the only words I said to her. I said, "I'm proud of you." She said, "That's the first time I ever heard that in my life." And then I had another woman that came in. She was in her 30s. She had been working and, she got her job and the routine and everything that they do here. And, she walked into my office one day and she says, "This is the happiest I've ever been in my entire life." Again, this is a 30-something-year-old woman. So you think of that, the stability that we give them here, that safety, it brings the best out of them. And that's what we do here. It's not so much of like the resources we provide. Yes, we have behavioral health and we have, the work release program and everything, that we give them in order to succeed and be stable. But it's also just kind of like that safety net and the people here that actually care about these women.